My topic today is entrepreneurship and innovation. I chose this because I truly believe that innovation is very important for any organization. All the progress that we have seen happening technologically over the last few years and the leaps and bounds by which we have grown has been a result of innovation. I am trying to give you today some of the experiences in my 35 years of journey as an entrepreneur and how innovation has helped in whatever we have done so far. Without innovation, you get stuck at points. If you have planned something in a particular way and it doesn't work, unless you change your way of thinking or your planning, you cannot really progress. Let's take a problem of, or let's take an example and decide for yourself whether you would advise such an entrepreneur to move ahead or a prospective entrepreneur. So let's look at a young man, a young person who has a product idea only, doesn't know exactly how to manufacture it. And even if he did manufacture it, there is no market for it. He doesn't have any money to invest in his venture. So he's totally dependent on funding coming from outside. Additionally, he has financial family responsibilities. He also doesn't have any technical know-how in the product that he is intending to take ahead. Now, would you advise such a person to take up the business? You would probably tell him go and find a job, right?
Right.
The person that I'm talking to you is me myself, because additionally to all the problems, the problem was that I was a woman. Maybe that was the only positive factor. We don't know. Something that started off from there. So I started off with a product which was a patent developed by my brother. It was in the field of microbiology. I was an arts and a law graduate. I wanted to market this. There was absolutely no market available because this was a very niche field of anaerobic microbiology. And even routine microbiology wasn't being done in regular labs because there was absence of convenience products to be able to do this. We made a project report. My husband was an MBA and it was actually his wish to start a business and I was there to help him. That is how it started. But then he got a job in Ahmedabad and he suddenly had to leave here and go and resume the job. So I said, okay, I'll start this, and then when we are at the right stage, you can leave the job and join me. We made a project report to the bank for 20,000 rupees. The product was to be manufactured out of a mold, and a glass vessel was to be formed. The bank cut down the 20,000 to 8,000, and ultimately refused to give me the 8,000, saying, "Oh, you're the one who's going to do this business. I thought it was your husband who was going to do this." So that 8,000 also didn't come back. So now what do I do? Sit at home and say that, sorry, I tried but I couldn't do anything. But that is not me. So basically what we did is we changed the whole idea of the product. Instead of a glass molding, we shifted to acrylic sheet molding. We found a manufacturer who said, okay, I'll bear the die cost and I'll divide it over the units. So we reduced our investment requirement from 20,000 to 5,000. My total savings at the time was 1,000 rupees. So I still needed 4,000. I can't go back to the bank and didn't want to do that. So I said, okay, let's raise this 4,000 from 4 different people who can trust me with 1,000 each. So raised my capital of 4,000 from the people, started with this 5,000 rupees. So we now had a product in hand, but there was no market. So I needed to personally go and visit doctors, talk to those who were on the forefront of researches and things, give a demo of this product and go ahead. My daughter and me were living here together. She was a junior KG student at the time. I had to leave her. I didn't have any family support, with no elders in my family. I had to leave her to school at the bus stand. So I could drop her and I would travel by train, would meet 1 or 2 customers and take the train back to sort of come and pick her up. And did the rest of the things sitting at home. We didn't have telephones at the time. There was no public booths either. So I didn't have a telephone at home, and even if I applied for it, it would have taken 7-8 years to get a telephone. So then how do I take appointments? How do I go and follow up with orders? So I stayed in Chennai. There are about 5-6 shops in our area. And shopkeepers hated the sight of me because I would come there only to make a telephone call and not to buy. But I would probably use this shopkeeper's telephone today, the next shopkeeper tomorrow. So the turn of this shopkeeper came after about a week. Whatever they may have thought of me, I just brushed it aside and I just went ahead and did my job. Over a period of time, I could see some amount of respect in their eyes because they could see what I was talking about. I wasn't calling a boyfriend or anybody, I was doing work, and that made a difference to them. There was somebody who, at Krishna stores, I was in Ahmedabad and my brother in Pune, I would make the STD calls from their shop. They never told me how much money it took. They will always ask me, Madam, kitna hua, aap aapke hisab se de do. And that sort of continued for a long time. So a lot of good support comes your way, provided you keep on handling things in the manner. So now money was arranged, the market had started growing, we went and gave demos and started getting orders, and it started coming around. It took about 2 years for me to establish the business so much that my husband could leave his job and come back.
Wow.
So this is how we actually started from scratch, and everything, every aspect of it had to be a very different way of doing things. Years later, I'm jumping nearly 20 years, we had got into microbiology, but one pathologist had asked me that, Madam, we are cultivating bacteria. How should we throw them? Because it can be a social hazard. Although we had given them a temporary solution, he visited me, was an electrical engineer. I drew out something for him and I said, can you make this? This is what we need. We wanted to develop a small incinerator or a furnace which can be kept in every lab or every hospital, so that they could destroy their biomedical waste themselves and not bring it to any other level. He designed it, and our first prototype was bought by Thane Municipal Corporation's Kalwa Hospital when the plague situation came. They suddenly wanted something to burn all the rats, and we had it ready. So then we also got a good field trial for our product. We made our second unit and displayed it at an exhibition in Nehru Center. There was an exhibition going on. And for 3 days, after the first day, we started realizing that throngs of people are coming to visit our stall just to see the incinerator. No one asked us any questions. They will just move quietly around the incinerator, have a look at it and go away. If we tried to intervene and try and talk to them, they didn't speak to us much. Then after 3 days, we were confused. We didn't know why this was happening. After 3 days, the exhibition got over, and when we started inquiring, we realized that the government was going ahead with a biomedical waste plan and diesel incinerators. Now we had put a spoke in their whole plan by developing something which was very small. Yes. So then, of course, we were not able to take this to naturally the government had their own plans of bringing it to municipal corporations, selling it in a big way from there. And we were not able to be very successful, but two places where we installed full unit for handling the municipal waste is Thana itself and Sangli. For last 14 years, those units are going on. Where estimated budget was 2 crores, we set it up in 20 lakhs. So this is something. The third innovation comes with my grassroots nutrition, putting out consultants and distributors who are on the way and setting up the whole market on our own, which is, I think, for the first time that has happened, that company handles more than 700 counters directly, retail counters directly from our place. So that is the third innovation. We'll talk about this later sometime more. But as you can see, thinking differently than what others have thought is the best way to move ahead. And you don't always have to follow the route, but have your own mind and your courage to follow what you think.